It is 2 in the morning somewhere in the African savannah. No moon, no wind, just darkness so complete you cannot see your own hand in front of your face. And then you hear it, heavy wet footsteps on soft ground. A low grunt, something breathing nearby, something very large. Your brain tells you, oh no, it's a lion. Your brain is wrong. In the African savannah, you have been taught to fear the lion's roar. Everything about lions says danger. The teeth, the hunting posture, the way they watch you from a distance with that specific stillness that means they are calculating. Lions are the symbol of African predator danger. They are what every nature documentary told you to worry about. But if you are out after sunset, a lion is actually the creature most likely to leave you alone. The real monster of the night does not have claws. It does not want to eat you. It has no interest in you as prey, and it is currently standing 10 feet away in the dark, weighing 4,000 pounds. And the only thing separating you from it is the fact that it has not noticed you yet. When it does, it will not hesitate. It will not calculate. It will not assess whether you are a threat worth engaging. It will simply come. Here is the thing about lions that nobody explains clearly enough. A lion is not reckless. A lion is an extremely expensive piece of biological engineering that took millions of years to produce, and that lion knows it. Every hunt is a risk calculation. Every engagement is a cost-benefit analysis run by an animal that cannot afford to get it wrong. A lion with a broken leg cannot hunt. A lion that cannot hunt dies. Slowly, painfully, alone. This is not an abstract risk. It is the primary cause of death for lions that survive to adulthood. And because of this, lions have evolved to be extraordinarily careful about what they engage with. They prefer prey they know, prey they have studied, prey whose movements they can predict, prey that fits their established hunting template. A human standing in the dark does not fit that template. We do not move like prey. We do not smell like prey. We do not behave with the pattern recognition a lion's hunting brain is looking for. And more importantly, we have the potential to fight back in ways that could injure the lion, which means attacking a human in most situations is simply bad business. Studies in Kruger National Park found that lions avoid areas of high human activity not because they are afraid of us in the way prey is afraid of predators, but because the cost-benefit calculation doesn't work out in their favor. The lion is a sniper. Patient, selective, economical. It chooses its engagements carefully because it literally cannot afford to choose wrong. This makes lions predictable, and predictable means manageable. Now let's talk about something completely different. Every night in sub-Saharan Africa, as the sun goes down, approximately 150,000 hippopotamuses do something that should terrify every human being on that continent. They get out of the water. During the day, hippos live in rivers and lakes. The water protects their skin from the sun. Hippos do not have sweat glands, and their skin dries out and cracks in direct sunlight. They are essentially obligate aquatic animals during daylight hours, but at night they come out. They walk, sometimes for miles, along established paths they have been using for generations to reach their grazing grounds, and nothing gets in the way of a hippo on its nightly route. Hippos kill more humans in Africa than lions, leopards, and cheetahs combined. The estimated number varies between 500 and 3,000 deaths per year, depending on whose data you use. The wide range itself tells you something about how many of these incidents go unreported in rural areas. But the consensus among wildlife researchers is consistent. Hippos are the most dangerous large animal in Africa by any meaningful metric. And here is the part that makes this genuinely strange. They are not hunting you. They do not want to eat you. They are herbivores who spend their nights eating grass. You are not on the menu. You are not even a consideration. You are just in the way. A hippo can outrun a professional sprinter. This sounds like a fact that should be impossible, so let me be specific. A healthy adult hippo can reach speeds of around 30 kilometers per hour on land, roughly 19 miles per hour. Usain Bolt's top speed is approximately 45 kilometers per hour, but his average speed over 100 meters is considerably lower, and he can sustain it for seconds. A hippo can run 30 kilometers per hour for much longer than a human can sprint at all, and a hippo weighs weighs between 1,500 and 3,000 kilograms, roughly the same as a full-size SUV. A running SUV that weighs 3 tons and has 4-inch canine teeth capable of biting a small boat in half. There's a reason hippos have killed fishermen in their boats. There's a reason wildlife rangers in hippo country do not walk near riverbanks at night without extreme caution. It is not that hippos are aggressive in the way predators are aggressive. It is something more unsettling than that. Hippos are reactive. They have poor eyesight and they startle easily, and a startled hippo does not pause to assess the situation. It does not consider, it does not evaluate. Its threat response is immediate and absolute. And unlike a lion, which will generally only escalate if you escalate, a hippo will charge if you simply appear. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time near a hippo is not a mistake you get to learn from. Ancient humans who camped near water sources knew this. This was not abstract ecology to them. It was survival information passed between generations with the urgency of a warning. The hippo's nightly route is territorial in a way that defies the word. They do not claim a space and defend it. They claim a path and clear it. Anything on that path is not assessed as a threat. It is simply removed. Our ancestors built their camps away from water for many reasons: predators, insects, flooding risk. But the hippo was a significant part of the calculation. A hippo wandering through a dark camp was not a dangerous encounter. It was a catastrophe. Think about what that meant for how humans organized their nights. Our ancestors were not just building fires to keep lions at bay. They were building fires to see in a darkness full of things that could kill them without even meaning to. And the things that could kill them without meaning to were, in some ways, more dangerous than the things that were actively trying to. At least a predator has a reason. At least a predator is following a logic you can understand and potentially navigate. A hippo does not have a reason. A hippo has a path, and you are on it. Now, let us talk about the rhinoceros. If the hippo is the tank of the African night, large, reactive, unstoppable once moving, then the rhino is something else entirely. The rhino is a tank with a broken targeting system and an extremely twitchy trigger. A black rhino has eyesight so poor it can barely distinguish a human from a tree at 50 meters. This is not a metaphor for bad vision. Studies have measured rhino visual acuity at roughly 20/600 on the human scale, meaning what you can see clearly at 600 feet, a rhino can only see at 20 feet. They are effectively legally blind by human standards. And here is what makes this genuinely alarming. A rhino is not slow. A rhino can charge at 55 kilometers per hour, faster than a hippo, faster than most horses at a full gallop, considerably faster than any human who has ever lived. A black rhino weighing 1,400 kilograms charging at 55 kilometers per hour generates a force that no vehicle in a wildlife reserve wants to be on the wrong side of. And the rhino charges first. This is the critical thing. The rhino's primary survival strategy evolved over millions of years as one of the largest land animals on Earth is to charge at anything that seems wrong before it has time to become a threat. The rhino does not investigate. It does not wait. Its poor eyesight means that by the time it can see you clearly, you are already too close for comfort, and its nervous system interprets that closeness as an immediate danger, so it charges. A lion's threat response says, calculate, then act. A hippo's threat response says, clear the path. A rhino's threat response says, charge now, assess later. At night, when even a rhino's limited vision is further reduced, this paranoia intensifies. Rangers and researchers who work in rhino habitat describe a specific unease about rhinos at night that is different from the fear of predators. With a predator, you can see what is happening. You can follow the hunting logic. With a rhino, something large can come at you from 50 meters away at 55 kilometers an hour without any prelude, any warning growl, any of the behavioral cues we associate with imminent attack. It just happens. Here's the thing that I keep coming back to when I think about all of this. We named them wrong. We call hippopotamus and rhinoceros herbivores because of what they eat. And technically that is accurate. They do eat plants. They eat a lot of plants. They are not hunting you. They do not want your body as food, but calling them herbivores misses everything important about what makes them dangerous. The correct category is not about diet. It is about territory, about the psychological landscape these animals occupy, about the fact that their threat response was not built around hunger. It was built around something much older and much harder to predict. Hunger is a choice in evolutionary terms. A predator does not hunt when it is not hungry. It calculates. It waits. A lion after a large meal is about as dangerous as a large friendly cat lying in the sun. But a hippo does not need to be hungry to charge. A rhino does not need to be hungry to charge. Fear is a reflex. Territory is automatic. And the darkness removes every signal we use to navigate around those reflexes safely. Our ancestors understood this on a level that modern humans have mostly forgotten. The fire at the center of an ancient camp was not just warmth and cooking, it was visibility. It was the one tool that could interrupt the chain of events that led to something enormous coming through the dark and simply not stopping. Because a lion respects fire, lions are rational about what fire means. But a hippo on its nightly path that encounters a fire does not necessarily understand it as a warning. It may simply walk through it. There is a reason the oldest human social structures include a night watch, not just to watch for predators with hunting strategies, but to watch for the things that move through the dark without any strategy at all, because those things are in some ways the ones you can do the least about. The night in Africa is not divided between safe and dangerous. It is divided between the things that choose their engagements and the things that have no choice at all. And of the two, the ones that have no choice are the ones that have always been the real reason to keep the fire burning. So I want to leave you with a question, not about hippos or rhinos specifically, about the category of danger they represent. Which animal do you think would be the most terrifying to encounter in total silence? Not an animal hunting you, not an animal that wants anything from you, just something massive, something reactive, something that cannot see you clearly and cannot hear your explanation, moving towards you in the dark without reason, without malice, and without any possibility of being reasoned with. Let me know in the comments, because the answer tells you a lot about which kind of danger your brain finds harder to process. And the answer, I suspect, is the kind with no reason behind it.